Welcome back to Classic Model Trains. I think I finally got myself one of them. They're fancy locomotives. The ones that are supposed to be the pinnacle, the fancy HO scaled, that are supposed to run so smooth and so nice. This one here showed up about 4 or 6 months ago. It's a Kato, an SD40. Yeah, this one comes from Lynn McCurdy and the High Desert Modular Model Railroad Club down out there in California, at the south end of it, where it's hot all the time. He sent in a lot of these things up here that need to be worked on. Now it's finally time for this one here to get done. A Kato. I've always wanted to work on a Kato. Some people told me I've already worked on one when I worked on this here Atlas within this video a while back ago. Some people said it, some people didn't say anything, so I'm not 100% sure if that was a Kato-made Atlas, or why would Kato make something for anyway. This here's the Southern Pacific. I think they call this the Bloody Nose paint job because it's got the red up there. This one has been weatherized. It's a little subdued in its paint colors. Normally when Lynn sends these locomotives in for repair, there's a sticker. There's a 3M sticky note that says what's wrong with it. This one didn't have a note at all. I don't know why it's here, what it does, what it doesn't do. So this will be an interesting trip to see what it's going to take to get this one running again. I'm Ron with Classic Model Trains. Let's get into it. Let's just see what we've got here. DC power. I see nothing. I have nothing. I see nothing. There's nothing. Wait a second. What's that sound? Well, that's interesting. Oh, and then it died. See, I thought that it would be DC because it doesn't say it's... Yeah, okay, nothing there. So it starts up, and then you think something's gonna happen, and why would it? But the throttle is, maxed out here. Oh, look at... That's on DC. That's neat. So we got a DCC with the sound. Bring you back over here. Let's do the right thing. Turn off the DC. Go to the dark side. And let this thing do what it does. Select loco. 7360. Enter. That's the joy of the DCC stuff. Okay, let's try this then. Select the loco. 003. Supposed to be the default for everything. Enter. Supposed to be. Now guys can change this, of course. Headlight. Nothing. Horn whistle. Nothing. F8. Sounds. Drive. Nothing. So now we got to sit around and try to guess what the good times. So if a guy was to get his reference manual out for the old NCEs here on the back page, and it tells you how to navigate through here. We want to use the program track. We could go in and we could look at all this stuff over here, the manufacturer of the chip and blah, 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 blah. But I don't care. What we're going to do is we're going to go use program track. We're going to go clear down to here to number 7, recovery program, factory reprogram it, and set that board to zero zeros. We're gonna hit escape program. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use program track, and we're gonna hit enter. Where's it at? Enter. 3, and then we're gonna go to 7. Recovery program 1. Yes. And now it's going through and it's changing all the CVs back to the normal, what it came from the factory. Then we'll see if it'll run after we get done doing this. You can even hear the locomotive that's like making little tick, 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 tick sounds in it. Ooh, that should be done. That was quick. Loco 3. Nothing. Nothing. Isn't that just the funnest? This is DCC at its finest right here. So let me go into the CVs and see if the thing is doing what it's supposed to do. Maybe we can... Heaven. I'm in heaven. Well, it started. Oh. Oh, cutting out. Love it. That's the best. Start it up again. Number 8. That's usually the mute. Go, Bill. Direction. Reverse. Bell. So the Bell CV must have moved. Four, 5, 6, 7s and 8s aren't working. Zero. Forward. Where's the forward? I don't use this enough. What a pain. Direction. Forward. Honest, the thing... It's still going backwards. It's still going backwards. Where's it at? It's over there. Oh, and now just couldn't do it. Well, I do know that with the DCC stuff, that track cleanliness, unbelievably important. Wheel pickup, unbelievably important. If it could run on DC, but we got DC and it's yeah, there is so many options with this stuff. Guys say it enhances your experience. Let's see what we can do. Let's get into it. I'll, of course, clean my track, but we will clean the wheels, pickups, grease it, we can lube it, we can do stuff to it. And I'll track down the CVs inside of it and see what's what, remap them so that when I hit the bell button, the bell comes on. And when I hit the whistle, that one was working. The headlights was working. And then there was other things that were working. I just don't know because I don't use this very much. Because of this, my operating experience went downhill. It's here for a reason. Nobody gives away good locomotives, do they? No. So let's get into this thing. Here's a nice little close-up look at it before we get fired up on it. Railings are all there. There's a cab interior inside of it. Holy. Coupler. This is way too nice for anything I've ever had. Golly. I don't even know what it's going to take to get this shell off. The only 2 bolts I see are these 2 right here. Like, this is the first time I've ever done it. So I'll just jump in blindly. Let's just see what happens. What's going to happen? Anything happen? What happened? Well, I don't know what that did, but we got looseness going on here. This is going to be one of those, huh? Where you got to take off all of these. Come on. I can see that, or maybe, where's it at? No, yes, no. Shoot, cab comes off separate. Can I take this out right here? That's why I don't like nice stuff. I'm never any good with it. That one out, that one out. I guess a guy could learn though. This one out, this one out. Now the cab was trying to come off. Well now, I didn't say to go back in, I said stay out. This part here. And it's got a whole bunch of wires on it. So, how about, honest. It did have the directions, sort of, right here. What is this? That, here, there. Running boards. This comes off, somehow. Okay. Careful, steady, easy. Latch right there. Should be a latch up at the front, which is may or may not be unlatching. Slow and steady. Careful. Easy now. One latch right here doesn't seem to. Is it something going on? I don't know. Oh, I don't even like it. Oh, surely moly. Why, God? Are you still attached? Right there. What happened to the other side? God, I hope it didn't break. Holy buckets. That's a nice job right there. Yeah. Well, I didn't know that didn't come off like it didn't, and we just made a mess out of that. We'll get this one out of the way. There's a lot going on in there. I guess trying to take this cab off didn't really do us anything. Hell, I don't even know where the speaker is. Jeez. These hand railings are just bugging me. I'm going to just get them out of the way because I'm going to touch it and I'm going to keep touching it and then they'll just eventually break because that's what happens. And you take them out, funny thing, they go right back in their holes. Look at that. I lifted every one out and it actually coupled back in. You're rotten. Whew. Now that I've been staring at this for quite some time, I'm going to go with the fact that these wires right here, this is magnetic wire used for winding armatures. And guys use it in DCC when they're making their own because it's so small and it is actually insulated that, you can use it to run this stuff. I believe this is the speaker back here. And this is also doing the rear light. These wires here are going up to the front headlight. Yeah, here's the headlight wires and speakers. Yeah, I'm still going to go with that. Ditch lights right here. I'm guessing. Why else would there be those up there? We got to get all this out of the way. I want it to go away. I want to get to the trucks and I want to get the trucks out. They're hooked on to all of this. And this is a really nice job. See, I've unbolted the motor. That's what them two bolts were on the bottom. Some fellers, when they make these, they make them with a plug. You can unplug stuff, make it easier. We're going to take this tape off here, which is holding the decoder down. There's a plug on the bottom. Doubtful. I don't know. I'm not a DCC guy. 1836 and 44. Thanks for the numbers, boys. That helped a lot. Get this last piece of tape off right here so we can get in here a little better. A couple more screws I can work on. Oh, what are these two wires here? Green and orange. They're just not doing nothing. This was a DC, and this right up here was probably like the board for making the lights go back and forth or something like that, I'd assume. Getting stuff out of the way. Our power wires going to the motor. It looks like these are they look a lot like the bathrooms where this housing up here on the top has to come out. And this walkway here would come off. I think it's probably got the couplers that's holding the front and back off. Then you can take the walkway off and you got more able to get into it going on. If a person just simply wanted to clean the wheels, Looks like they might come out from down here. Just can't see nothing on this thing. We're getting closer to something. There's these pins that are down here on these Kato boxes. You can see this pin sitting right there. It looks like you pull it up, out, like this, and then the boxes come out. Part of the box came out. Come on now. There. So they are with the lid up. Now, this walkway comes off. Now we can really see what we got going on here, except for all the wires in the way. I've already got the motor. I took those bolts out on the bottom, kind of messed up. So that's going to harsh us this direction. I'm trying to get the worm cover off right in here. This isn't the peaches and cream that I hoped that it would be. Up underneath of it, come on now, a little something. I just one more hook up here in the front. That's all I need. This side to come out. Some. This side's off. Why can't you work along with us? There. Goodness gracious. That guy. This points in towards the motor. Drive line. Snaps in. This is a lot of work just to get the truck out. Plus we still got it connected. I just want to service it. There's not any, I don't see any grease on this worm. Makes me wonder if guys even work, I mean, they service up their DCC stuff. When you got this much ick in the way, I mean, this honestly, it makes it impossible. This is a lot of work just to get in here because all this stuff's wired up. I usually don't got these sheets right here. I'm usually not this lucky. I'm trying to take the truck side frames apart. They are held in there somehow, some way that's beyond me. I don't want to break it because then the whole job is done. And then I got to start filming something else. This bottom cover is working its way off. It's got some latches that you can only reach from this side. And then you hook them and try to unlatch them. There's one here, here, here. There's 6 of them. You could barely see them down inside there, so I just keep reaching in behind these wheels there. Oh, now the side frame pops off. You worthless. So there's that with these keepers right there. Why did that side frame? So this locks the side frames in. Sure. Look at the pickups wrapped around the axles. Wow. I like that. What, sure. So if this gets all dirty, buried in here like this is what you got to do to get it taken apart and cleaned. And these look like they look like they're brass. And then, uh-oh, that wheel's rolling away. And then there is these 2 screws here, here, and here. Oh, dang it. Now I got to solder that back on. You rotten. Oh, wait, it's got a clip. It's clipped on. Okay. Does this wire come all the way out? Yeah. And really the key is to make sure that the wires from the right side are on the left side and the left side's on the right side. This is a nightmare. There's that. I guess I've got to see it. Them things just immediately started falling out. They all look to be the same side. Well, except for that one. Sure. Absolutely no idea what I just did. I got to figure all these things out. They're symmetrical. But they got hard grease on them. I can see it. And they're going to go here, 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 here. They all got to get cleaned up. These got to get cleaned up. Don't lose those. These pickups got to get cleaned up. Oh, that is a lot of parts. Oh, man. I think the ultrasonic cleaner is going to be just the character for it. Some of these are easy and some come right out and some don't. It's like, what, you glued on half of them or something? Nope. So what's your story? That's fine. Baggy, a little bit of simple green, ultrasonic cleaner. Maybe only keep it about 90 degrees, not too hot, like a hot tub, 105, 98. Couple minutes, and try to get all this out so we can relube it. Makes a lot of sense to clean it, to redo it again. Yeah. Here is our truck that we've gotten taken apart here, and I got it out of the ultrasonic, and it is sparkly clean. It is. But the downside is that I took off the paint that they used when they, see, here's the weathered one, and then here's this one, and oh man, because ultrasonic cleaners can strip paint like nobody's business. But if this thing was molded in gray, if I can get it down enough, I can strip that off. I don't like weathering. It just makes it filthy. The downside is this one here, it could pull the decals and the paint off the front off. So I'm going to do some experimenting to see if I can, maybe the hot water, maybe this is just an acrylic paint that'll come off because of the heat and the warm water. It's the vibrations, the little bubbles that explode during the ultrasonic cleaning process that causes the paint to come off and the dulling of all the paint. But plastic, of course, doesn't dull because it's this what it is. So I definitely got my work cut out for me. The wheels here, they are, yeah, they're brass. I guess it kind of gives a date of the locomotive, what it is. Put these wheels back together. Of course, I want to take the gauge after them. I'm really not happy with how there's not a lot of stick going on here. I'm thinking I might want to put a little bit of CA inside there just so it holds better. We are going to get out the super lube and throw some grease in these trucks, make them what we want them to be. So all these little holes right down here, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, had them gears in it, these ones. So I am going to make sure that these are greased up well and get them put in there. So I want to lube up the bosses, I want to lube up the journals, and we're going to just go through all this, get this ready for reassembly. And they're tiny. I'll try to use one of these to hold it, do this work so I don't lose my mind. Well, we got all them little gears standing up in here right now. I went through and put a little blob of super lube in these bosses over here. So with any luck, we can put this together, line all that up, and it's going to be a hassle because that's just how life is. Heck, I think I pulled it off. Get these little screws in here so we don't lose what we've got going on. Yeah, this thing is tiny. Super nice, though. I mean, the engineering, wow. So our loose ones, we glued them up with a little CA. They're going to sit in here. And that's a lot of gearing going on. Why does it look crooked? Oh, because these are not in there. Our pickups for each side, absolutely amazing, amazing engineering here. I love it. I want to get just a little bit of super lube in here. Some. It stays better than Earl. We can get some traces in there and then roll all this. Coat it, spin it, coat it and spin it until it starts to have a sheen. It just kind of glows a little bit. It's shiny. And that's when you know you've got enough in there. I'm loving that. Side frames will go on. Holds this mess together. Side frame over here. Those metal clips, I'm not going to be able to put those in with the side frame on. So we're going to leave it like this. Because when you put this on, then it locks everything together. This one here, we can't really get any grease under. So we're going to have to put the oil on it. Oil it here a little bit. But then we can put some grease on this worm. We pulled this out, it was completely dry. And we can't put this on until it's in the body. So there's one truck that's serviced. So I gotta get the other truck out. And then this speaker is just taped in. Speaker and light. And then these ditch light, this cab light is just up in there. I wanna get the electrics out and work on getting the paint fixed, gone away. It's got to go away. That's going to be long and tedious. We'll see what we can do, though. But we're going to get this front truck apart. And I'd already forgot where the wires went because I didn't point it out. They're coming down here by the worm gear, the gear tower. And then they're tucked in behind this piece right here. These come off the end of the wheels. The wire clip goes backwards, loops around, gets picked up right there, and goes up around there. I'm doing this to show you and also doing it to show again myself because I took it apart so fast. I didn't pay that much attention. That's why videoing is always a nice benefit. Because, man, you can pick up what you've blazed through. These are just sitting underneath that plastic piece right there. Right in here. Right on. So I can get this part out, we can work on it, ship this stuff out, work on that. We go to put this back together, we got to make sure that the pickups are all on the same side. We got a black wire, we got a red wire. This pickup and this pickup, it's got to be on the same side. This pickup, it's got to be on the same side. Real important. And usually the red side is on the engineer's side over here. This truck's all disassembled. So all the components are going in a bag. We're gonna fill this up with simple green up to about here. Ultrasonic cleaner it, 105 degrees, 5 minutes. So far the ultrasonic cleaning is working well, getting that weatherization spray off. This one needs a little more love right there. The cab, sure. Now this here, the frame, the walkway, it's got 2 ditch lights in it that have been glued in and I can't get them out at all. And all the electronics are over here. So I'm going to try to fill this bag up with liquid, have this not in the ultrasonic cleaner. So, you know, and get this done. The body is coming out really well. I stripped this without any in the ultrasonic cleaner, just hot, simple green. Because I didn't want to take the decals off. And it looks like the thing had been sprayed. Actually, this needs some more. It had been sprayed with a dull coat or gloss, probably sprayed with a gloss, before the weatherization process took place. So the heat is making the gloss wrinkle off, and then I just take it off with a toothbrush. Yeah, this one needs more love. You can see all the ick, the clear coat that's kind of like cobwebs on there. Yeah, spending the afternoon stripping paint. We're getting ready to start day 3 of working on this thing. It's now Sunday afternoon. I got to reassemble it, and there's a lot of stuff. All them wires and stuff like that are in the way, and it's gonna I'm probably not going to shoot a lot of the reassembly. I'll just kind of show up steps as it's done, because I just got done editing, and it's like we're pushing almost half an hour right now, and it's only halfway done. There's programming that's got to take place, and oh my god, there's both the trucks are greased up, ready to go. So we're going to get them in the chassis. The body came out amazing. I put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, but I did not turn it on. So it was just hot water, went up to 120, and the simple green in the bag, and it just took the clear coat, I guess it would be. It was sprayed with a clear before it was weatherized. And it made the clear coat wrinkle up, and it looked like your fingers when you've been in the pool too long, you know? And then you just took it and washed it off, and I used a compressor and blow for some of the detailed areas. Came out really good. Shell's a little dull though, so we're going to probably take the boot polish brush after it and kind of bring it back around. Now that we're about halfway through, now's an excellent time for classic model trains. This week's classic model. Now this gal here is probably not a model, but she's famous, so that sort of counts, right? Do you know who this is? If you do, put it in the comments down below. If you don't, stick around to the end. I'll let you know who it is. Let's get back into the assembly of this beautiful Kato DCC with sound and wires and stuff all over the place. And this side here, it's better. It's shinier. This side here's, it's dull. Because the water, you know, it's hard water, maybe left a little bit on it or something like that. So we just do this and it makes it more uniform. I don't know what it does. There's no wax on this. It's just made by Kiwi. 100% horsehair. Guess their mane or their tail. Hopefully it's the mane. Because the tail, you know, we were able to keep all the details. Oh, the little handles, handheld, the ladders, still on there. Good glue. Because it went through a lot. So now I think that we really got something there. People were going, why? Why, God? Why did you do that? It was weatherized. It looked nice. Well, maybe the next guy can weatherize it. So we got to get this on this. Here's our trucks all nice. all these wires run up where they're supposed to run up through and get it so at least it's a roller. So we're gonna knock out now. I might need to brush this here a little bit more. Remember how the couplers keep this frame, this boardwalk on right here. The original boxes, I didn't like them because they fell apart and they didn't have the nice couplers that are easy to work with, the whisker couplers. So I got the 242 boxes, they clip together, clunk, and they stay together. It's not falling apart. And then I had to sand off that lip that was all the way around the end of it over here to get it to slide in here. File it all down because it's just, the box is just a little bit bigger all the way in. And then this little pin right here, stab her down in the hole. Working couplers, everything's on there, and once you kind of mount the board back down, everything kind of cleans up a little bit. Speaker, and then the lights for the cab. But this isn't too bad to work on now. Work on getting these trucks in. I'm thinking it's going to be, I'd like to think it's going to be super easy, but it probably ain't. Got to fish these down through there, hook them up to the things out here. So I'll do it now and learn on this one, and then I'll show you on the other one. Remember that part when I was just praising the engineering on this thing? Well, not anymore. These are a huge pain to put in. So what I found out so far is these pickups are just an absolute hassle. I put the truck in. Of course, you see the wheels are stripped out of it. Put it in, put the driveline on the worm, and then you can take this and slide it forward into the hex socket up here on the flywheel, and then put your clip in. And at least that'll hold this in place. And then you get a mess around and try to clip these pickup wires in down over in here to hold them where they need to be. And then I guess now I'm going to put the wheels in, and then I'm going to put these little buggers on, and the clip has got to be clipped on. I think I'm going to solder them just because I want one more better. This is just it's just a silly way. Get the wheels in, and then we'll put the side frames in, clip this in, and that'll put the truck all together. And it's very time consuming, and it's going to be super hard to edit it. That's what I'm going to do, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you if it worked good or not. But yeah, oh, what a hassle. Scratch that last bit of footage, it wasn't any good. I had to take the truck back out because the idea wasn't working at all. After I soldered the things on here, and then there's so much stuff that's got to be aligned. Loose, flopping in the wind. This is what drives me crazy, is when you're trying to get stuff in and everything's just moving. So both the pickups are on, side frames are in, both sides are soldered. That's about the only way I could see to do that. Get this lower cap in here. So now that the truck is in assembly, I suppose if this wasn't been DCC'd like this, it would have been a lot easier just to, cut the wires up here, and then you could build it outside and then put it in. Oh, God. Now we got to put the wires in these little keepers down here. The strain reliefs are kind of what they are. So I'm going to fight getting them wires underneath there, because that's how they did it from the factory. And them boys, they wouldn't steer us wrong, would they? No. Is this going to work? That worked actually a lot better using the old screwdriver there. Happy days are here again. Push it in there. Okay. So now the wires are both in on that truck, both sides. Get it on the bolster pin. Get a drive line. Get it in. Flywheel's got it in there. Yes. Put the cap on. This feller. This guy. So there's one. Oh, jeez. Okay. We're definitely making forward progress. That's the important part. Where's this stuff ride? I don't know if it goes on the inside or if it goes on the outside because of the lack of room in here. As long as the truck pivot and do its thing. One more to go. We got her put back together over there. Doesn't look very good right now. There's things I want to know. Right now I want to know who the manufacturer of this decoder is. And I want to know the decoder version, so that way I can look at the CVs and see where what is and what kind of features I can find on that. So with this fella right here, we're going to go into program escape. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use program track. Enter. We're going to go to number 1, standard. Manufacturer, 151. And then we're going to hit enter again. Decoder version, 255. So now I'm going to go look these up on the interweb and we'll see what the heck it is. So I went to the nmra.org website to look up manufacturer numbers. This is what it looked like here. This is by decimal in the numbers as we scroll down. We're looking for number 151. So we're getting here on page, I don't know what this is, Electronics Solutions. Never heard of them. Goodness gracious. Now we want the version number, and I don't know where we're going to get that at. www.dccwiki.com. And that looks like this right here. It lists manufacturers, and we'll go to looking for electronic solutions. There is no electronic solutions. Oh, hey, that's an ESU. Electronic Solutions, ULM. Okay, see, who knows? I don't. I'm learning this just like I am with you guys. It's version 255, and who knows what that is? Version 255. This DCC stuff's got a learning curve it's like this. Now, there might be some of you guys out there that know all this because you do it all the time, but just don't become this guy right here.
Where are you guys dumb? You guys are so dumb. I got this thing all figured out. I figured it out all by myself.
Because that kind of guy is the kind of guy that detracts people from wanting to get into doing DCC when you run into an abusive know-it-all. That just doesn't help the hobby out at all. Just help people. Don't pick on them and stuff like that. I'm doing my best to educate some people on DCC. You might like it. I don't. It's so much of a hassle. But we're going to go through it. I'm going to do it anyway. So we're trying to find version 255 on here, and I had to dig on the internet some more and more. Finally, I come up with this little thing right here in a chat room that says that version 255 returns on a manufacturer ID of 151, and it just pretty much come up with the fact that it's a version 4.0 lock sound. So then I get on the line and I keep doing some digging to find out what function keys control what. This is the part that I wanted to find right through here, page 51, and it shows the sounds that it can make. Sound slot 1 to sound slot 18, and what they do. Lighting, these are sounds, and then there's lighting options on it also. There is so much in here that I could make a whole video or a series of videos on how to make these things do what they're supposed to do. The locomotive, let's go and see what it's doing, see how it's working, and see what sounds it's doing what, where, and here and there. Let's head on over to the layout and look at it. We figured out what sounds that it makes. Horn button, bell, and then the headlight, of course, does its thing. And then if it's in forward or reverse direction, see, then it goes to the rear one, in the direction again, forward one. And then there's not too many more left. Function 6 is the front ditch light on the fireman's side, but the other one, apparently it didn't make it through the repair. Function 4, 5, 6, and 7, all happens is 6 does the thing. 8 starts it up, as you just heard it, although I didn't tell it to start up. 9, air outlet valve. We got the fans running now. I don't know why. I didn't tell it to. And so half the cool things that it doesn't have open closed doors. It does have sanding valve. For some reason it's clear up on 18. Sure. So we want to run it, fire up the headlight. And does it have a creep speed or what? My goodness. That's what I see this every once in a while, and then I want everything to creep like that. And it just doesn't work like that. Oh, there we go. I think it's time to get the body back on though. This thing is doing what it's supposed to do now. Sort of. And I've never used a lock sound before, so I don't know what a guy's got to do to get the rest of the sounds to come out of it. Shut that thing off. Let's get that body on, get these lights mounted up. Okay, that bell, yes, thank you. Oh my goodness. Let's finish it. Well, 2 tries to get the body on. Jammed all those wires in there the first time. Something was rubbing on the flywheel, making all kinds of noise. Now, I can't, it just like, it's like, it's all snapped together, which is sad. But this doesn't want to sit like a guy would want it to. I don't know if I got one more click in it or what's a guy, who do I got to talk to? That's all I want. Let's get the railings back on it. They've survived this journey quite well. Golly, I want to glue it, but then you can't get in there and service it. That just looks like ick. Turns out that the wires coming in off the front truck were underneath the platform where the cab interior goes and holding everything up. So I had to scoot the wires out of the way a little bit and just got to get it all. So many wires in this thing, so many. Let's take a cool look at this thing, make a little montage with it. Yeah. Three days of pure bliss working on this thing. Hell for that. Was it worth it? Yeah. Good looking locomotive. Man, it's got creep speed on it. I could get addicted to that for sure. Now it makes me wonder if it'd creep that good if it was on DC. But I'm not going to tear the decoder out of it and find out. Took off the weatherization. Does it look better now or when it was weatherized? Let me know what you guys think out there. This one here, I think we're going to put it on the old eBay. Classic Model Trains has got an eBay store now. All you got to do is, in the search bar, type in Classic Model Trains, and then, it'll populate. And then at the bottom of the population, it'll say Classic Model Trains Store. Click on that, go into it. I'm going to put this up for auction right now. Do a 7-day auction. The auction's live right now. Go into the description below the video, and it'll give you a link to go to the eBay auction if you guys want to maybe purchase this thing here. I can't believe it's got that much sound that comes out of it, and there's not even a hole in the up above where it's at. It's closed. Whatever kind of speaker that thing is, I don't know. I gotta do more working on the DCC stuff and get my knowledge on, I guess. Needs a ditch light. Because it was submerged for like 15 minutes in the ultrasonic. So I'm surprised the one still worked. And then, of course, it has to be programmed if you want to get them to do this or the functions. You can, blow your mind for hours trying to figure out how to program that thing to do all the cool stuff you want it to do. This week's classic model, not that she's a model, but she's a musician. Grace Slick. 4 decades, apparently, she was in the music scene. Not the kind of scene that was a little before my time. That's going to do it to me. I'm going to wrap up this video, put this thing to bed. Thank you guys, the 33%ers, all y'all that's here at the very end of it with me. Watch the whole dang video. Thank you guys so very much. Thank also to my channel members out there. Appreciate you guys, what you do, all the support I've been getting for the channel. Just fantastic. I'm Ron, Classic Model Trains. Bye-bye.